Hey everybody, it's me again, Swanson, the boat driving guy. The Caddyshack Minute guys wanted me to tell you that they've changed their minds again. The Caddyshack Minute will now be a twice-weekly podcast with new episodes coming to you every Monday and Thursday for the rest of the movie, or until they change their minds again. So thanks, and enjoy the...
Move over, Swanson, I'm driving. Hey, Smails! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the daily podcast in which we discuss and pick apart and wait for the good parts of the film Caddyshack, 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor, and with me are Mike DeMaria.
Yep.
And Dan, what's your last name, Dan?
That's Lewis.
Dan Lewis.
L-E-W-I-S, yeah. At present.
We've never met. Today we're here to talk about Minute 8. And Minute 8 begins with Ty talking to Danny about trying to golf blindfolded. And it ends with Judge Smails about to notice a gopher in the golf course.
I see you almost tripped up and said golfer, but you said gopher.
They can make a joke out of that if they really tried.
Yeah.
I have nothing for Minute 8.
Well, and one thing I do have is again, we can see the cars in the background, which diminishes the...
Yeah.
Tom mentioned last time that it depresses him, the cars, a little bit.
Yeah.
It ruins the scene.
His exact words are, they bum me out.
Yeah. That's a
and I get it, because like I said before, it's, this is supposed to be away from all the riffraff.
Mm-hmm.
The roads and the pedestrians.
An endless pastoral scene of wealth, beauty, and nature. And then you got a bunch of crumb bums going by in their jerkmobiles.
Right,
Who
you got
that?
2 horses coming in and out of Bushwood.
Yeah.
And just a stone's throw away, you've got some guy in a Celica going to work.
Going to the Piggly Wiggly. Who
Yeah,
needs
he's
that?
going to the Piggly Wiggly because they got a sale.
Yeah, it's some guy in this, would you say, Celica? Or Seneca?
Is that a car?
It's a Tom
What?
Celica.
Tom Sellecar.
Right.
No,
It's a Celica, Tom Celica going to the Piggly Quiggly, or the Seneca going to the Piggly Wiggly.
And the guy's got an open container, and he's got a little one-hitter in his mouth going to work, just driving past the Bushwood.
He's got whatever I want to.
Yeah, and on his passenger side, he's got a stack of phone books that he throws at old women at stop signs.
Yeah.
Mike speaks from experience.
He screams out the window, "Hooray for the Douglases!" And he throws a phone book at him.
Can I just say I used that the other day? We were driving by, and there's a house under construction, and Jody was like, "Oh," my wife Jody, everyone. She's like,
she's
"Oh, that house
podcast.
has been under construction. They're doing all the right stuff. They put in like the so-and-so windows, the best windows you can get." I said, "Hooray for the Douglases!"
I've been working that in, like when I'm cooking for the kids, and I'm just in the kitchen going, "Hooray for the Douglases!"
He's working it into just his regular cooking routine.
Yeah, no, as I'm making mac and cheese and doing my cooking show.
I think I'm going to use it anytime anyone is talking about, like Tom's example, anytime someone's got something going on and someone's talking about the progress that they're making in their life or in some way or another, I'm going to use it then. And I'm also going to use it for anything said about anyone having to do with their last name Douglas.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, progress. That's what you have to take down with "Hooray for the Douglases."
Good for the Douglases then.
Yeah. No, it's hooray. Get it right. If you're going to do it, you do it all out.
3 cheers for the Douglases.
Yeah. You say anytime anybody is proud of themselves, you bring them down with that line.
Yeah.
If someone says, "Did you hear that? So and so, Mrs. Douglas is not doing well," I'm going to go, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that about the Douglases."
Yeah. How would that go on Facebook if you just started posting that to as a reply to everybody's stuff, no matter what it is? Oh, we're so glad my dad made it out of the hospital. It was touching. Hooray for the Douglases!
It would be some kind of a weird art installation that you're doing. That way.
Yeah, it's like some crappy ass performance art.
Tom, you're being a real dick. Hooray for the Douglases!
It's got to be tasteful, though. You can't just...
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
No, I guess you're right. I think you could just do that.
But yeah, most of this minute is the continuation of Ty and Danny. Ty trying to get sort of zen.
I think going back to the Douglases, I think that's why we're all friends, is because we will say something. We'll say stuff like that.
Right.
You know, it's like saying skeletons of Quito.
Right. And Lord knows there's no other reasons.
No. I drive every other day. I drive by a street called Oquito, and I say skeletons of Oquito. And the kids
skeletons of Quinto. Yeah.
Every day.
It was 1937 and Spain was racked by civil war.
Good night, everybody.
Every day I drive by a street called Wesley, and I say, "Shut up, Wesley." Neither of you guys get that.
That's Mr. Belvedere.
You wish.
That's Mr. Belvedere.
That's Wesley Crusher from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, but it's also, more importantly, it's Mr. Belvedere. Wesley. It's the same as Monroe.
Monroe.
But his was Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Skeletons of Oquito.
But yeah, some more of Ty's.
Yeah, I'm done with
smug. Yeah. You're right.
Well, except for the last couple seconds.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Because, well, listen, one thing I do like is that before you're kind of ready for it, Ty Webb is kind of put down a peg status-wise. Like he carries on too much, and then he gets sort of chided by his own caddy. You know, like, I can't shoot with you talking like this. If you're going to keep talking like that,
well, it also shows that they have some sort of a relationship and a rapport.
Right.
No, I gotta say now this minute here and our delay, our taking our time to get out of this minute. It's like saying, okay, you just won a 2-minute shopping spree at ABT Electronics, and here's your shopping cart. Now I'm going to sit here and tell you the rules and all the sponsors before I let you run through the aisles. That's what's going on right now, because every minute after this is running through the aisles of an electronics store.
Yeah.
Okay.
The minute
it starts. Everything takes off the last 10 seconds of this minute. Mm-hmm. But it's like I feel us discussing this. What we're discussing now is like sitting there waiting to go on a shopping spree, and they're telling you, "Well, this shopping spree is brought to you by this company and that company. Here's the rules. Just let me go get the fucking goods."
What's infuriating is the very the split, like less than a second you get of actual Judge Smails at the very end of this minute. You barely see his face.
But that's all I need. Exciting.
That's all I need, though.
One split second of Smails. He's about to. We don't even have enough time to see him get surprised, but you know, because of the cutting, that he's noticing the gopher.
Yeah.
And then the cross cutting, I like also of the Rolls Royce heading in one direction, the gopher heading another direction. It's like a classic montage kind of effect, where you know that they're going to ram, they're going to meet somewhere.
Yeah, Destiny is driving these two toward each other.
Right.
But this is like, I mean, I like the cutting the way, I mean, because we've cut these into 1 minute chunks. It's nice because it cuts like right at the moment that Judge Smails' whole fucking life is ruined.
Yeah.
You know, he was just, he's a monumental asshole, but he's had a good life being an asshole so far. And the minute he sees that gopher, everything goes down the toilet. It's over now.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Like what?
It is. It is extremely excellent.
It's brilliant. You're good.
It is.
There's a reason you're on the show. Mm-hmm. But what was his life like before this moment? Like he got up this morning. He didn't have 1,000 kids.
Sending young men to the electric chair. That's his whole life.
It's a movie about. Yeah, it's a movie about. It's about this kind of change.
Yeah,
and Smails represents the upholding of the needless, perhaps like overextended upholding of the stodgy tradition that is now about to be upended from all sides by an Al Cervic here, by a gopher there, by an
young caddy. Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
Speaking of which, does anybody know Judge Smails' first name?
Yeah. Is it Elihu?
Yeah, Judge Elihu Smails.
Elihu Smails.
Do they ever say that in the movie?
No.
They don't, do they?
No, Judge.
I was trying to think if she said it if his wife said it in the shower when she wants him to loofah her stretch marks.
She might have.
I don't think she does, though.
She call him Honey Poo or Honey, some sort of pet name.
Like Schnooky Lumps or something.
Maybe she just calls him Judge. Or Your Honor.
May approach the bench.
Your Honor. We have a 5-minute recess to loofah my stretch marks.
Hey, is it odd at all that he's driving his own car, that he's driving himself? Is he rich enough that he doesn't need to? Okay, what?
No, because I'm going. If you go to country club culture,
yeah,
which I'm going back to the days of the Walnut Creek Country Club, they all drove themselves. Yeah, Mr. Foghat. Mr. Foghat. Mr. Foghat, there's a woman choking in the men's grill, but she's in the men's grill, so I should just let her die? She's not supposed to be in here, Mr. Foghat.
What do I do, Mr. Foghat?
No, they all drove themselves there, you know?
Yeah. Plus, it's also, it's a brown Rolls Royce. So you're getting across the wealth pretty, and also the stodgy old money wealth with the brown Rolls Royce, I think. Mm-hmm. And it basically matches, interestingly, there's the color scheme is all, it matches the Bushwood sign. It's as though they threw the sign in with the car. It's like it was a throw-in.
Or he got the country club, and he got the car came with the country club.
Yeah, it all
it's part of his
together.
membership. Yeah.
Well, no. What is his title at the country club?
Mike. You are full of great questions.
That's right.
I've never understood. Well, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but there's something to keep in mind as we go forward.
No, because he's driving it. He's driving in. We just want to know, because we all obviously know that he's, in minute 2, he starts saying what we'll talk about that later, but we'll think about that. Then what is his role? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't. He's just
he just like the executive director or the seat of the head chairperson of the board?
Right, because he's something like that.
Yeah.
The head muckety muck.
He's deeply enmeshed in the politics of the Bushwood Country Club.
Right.
Well, all we know right now is that he's driving into Bushwood Country. Which, by the way, speaking of that matching sign, we didn't talk about the fantastically clever wordplay of the name of the country club.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Bushwood. It was mentioned in passing. But Bushwood.
I'm sure that.
I'm sure that was names.
Yeah, I'm sure that was intentional with this writing group.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Bushwood.
Yeah, we don't know who Judge Smails is or what his role is, but we do know he's the exact polar opposite of Tony D'Annunzio.
The world needs ditch diggers too.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a golf club.
So I guess we won't get into what Judge Smails does now.
That'll come up. It'll come up. We'll go minute by minute.
Did you notice the shot of him driving into the country club is a little bit peculiar, actually, because you see the stately arch, the Bushwood sign, the brown Rolls Royce, and then weirdly there's this very, very in your face. They put the camera. They wanted to pick up some of the greenery or something, and they put the camera right behind this tree branch. These leaves take up a quarter of the screen. And it's not entirely clear why, but it's just they just... Because it doesn't seem like a big deal, but then when you think about when they set up a shot, they get it all composed and everything. They intentionally have this shot where there's this huge branch, right in the foreground. I don't know if you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
50 seconds in.
They're trying to hide the 7-Eleven in the distance.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Maybe in the background is the Universal Lot sign or something.
But you know what? You could take another view of it. Is it's almost like a surveillance video or a camera because you got the camera hidden in the bushes.
Yeah, spying. It's like Carl Spackler.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
What observer are we in the position of as we observe these people?
Or maybe they were getting arty. They say became like an arty angle, saying this is the view from the Bushwood surveillance camera.
Yeah, maybe, and this could. We may be picking up on a tiny little seasoning on the theme here, which is that there's some insidious force that's about to enter this country club and usurp it from the inside out.
Mm-hmm. It's not the gopher,
and we don't know what it is. Is it a?
It's progress,
right? Progress.
Hooray for the Douglases!
Hooray for the Douglases! And then you get, of course, the final, and the final shot of Judge Elihu Smails. Just the second you see his face, and it's just glorious because you know what great things are coming.
Yeah.
Well, because you could tell that he was grinning, staring out the window, thinking about it, and he's looking straight ahead, driving into his country club, thinking
Having a
about
lovely time.
his wonderful life, and then he turns, and he has that smile still on his face, but it's about to go south.
Yeah.
I feel bad for everyone listening to this as we post these because
That's your first problem. You don't have any feelings for the people listening to this.
I care. We're putting on a show for these poor people.
No, we're putting on a show for ourselves.
Oh, wait a minute,
They're just privileged to be listening to this.
So
Tom, these are the people that are standing in front of you in line. They're taking all the parking spaces.
Oh, Jesus.
These are the people that are just fouling up the world.
Right, and these are the people that are make fun of you all the time, Tom. 'Cause you refuse
that's
to wear
them?
jeans. They say, oh, look at him again with the khakis. Look at this tall prick.
I got to type this out.
These are the types of people that beat you up in high school.
Audience.
People of all stripes and different backgrounds.
Yeah.
God, why are we even posting this for them? What a bunch of assholes.
I don't know that we will
Because
post
just like high school, Tom, you want to be friends with them.
I do. I keep trying.
Yeah.
Curse you all! I keep trying, and you won't notice me. Jerks. Anyway, I'm glad you only get minute 8 today. You get nothing. You get a brief glimpse of Judge Smails.
A couple
Before
final
everything
notes
gets
about
awesome.
this. Just a little side things. If we're going to talk about the ADR, the Foley, if you will. Danny taking his shot. Very bad Foley work there. It looks like doesn't quite sound right. The actual shot, the sound of the shot, with the sound of the ball being hit by the club. It's not timed right. It's obviously done in post-production. They wanted to give it that kind of sound. I don't know. It just isn't that great. And the final note being that I got curious about the name Foghat, so I looked it up in. So now this may be a fly-by-night kind of website for this sort of type of genealogy type of thing, but it said that 100% of the people with the last name Foghat come from the tiny African nation of Benin.
Yeah.
Curious.
They speak French there.
Yeah, they do.
They do. It's
Forgot.
Francophone.
Forgot.
I forgot.
I forgot.
Sorry. All right.
I did some research to see if there was any, Mr. Foghat from Walnut Creek Country Club in Novi, and I couldn't find any. But it wasn't a figment of my imagination. It happened.
I believe you.
Existed.
Yeah.
I believe that you believe it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, I say we slam the car door on this one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get to, and it's like we did all this. We biked uphill a little bit now, ready to coast on the beautiful with the beautiful parts here.
This is going to be sweet.
We got through a lot of the tough Ty Webb stuff.
We did.
Credits.
I got to say, I'm thinking back on the minutes. It hasn't been a huge slog. I think figuring out how many kids were in those what am I trying to say? Figuring out how many kids were in that house, that was satisfying to me.
Yeah.
Danny's house.
Well, there's a lot of good moments in there. It's, if we might reflect on the greatest hits of the first 8 minutes.
Well, you know what? Save that for the what do they call that? The cut where they put the. God, I can't even fucking think.
I'm not going to help you at all.
Just think. Just save it for the extra content. You know, at the end.
The bonus material.
The bonus
material. That's the one I'm looking for. You know,
the director's commentary.
The commentary. The commentary of the commentary.
Right.
Yeah,
here's where I set up Mike for another discussion of his boss, Mr. Foghat.
You see,
notice how I plant the seeds of the conversation.
Right.
All right. I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone. Good night, Mike. Good night. What?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Good night.
See you next time on the Caddyshack Minute.
Right.
And that's how you end a podcast, see? Look at that.
Hey, you scratched my ankle!